People power growth, but recruiting and onboarding are expensive, exhausting, and absolutely overwhelming. I've been there, and it doesn't have to be this way. Welcome to Hire and Empower. I'm your host, Molly McGrath. Join me as we interview leaders who care about their teams and distill powerful lessons from them. This show is sponsored by H&E, helping organizations to find their best hire and empower them for success. Learn more at hiringandempowering.com. All right. I am consistently hearing on my coaching calls or in our law firm admin boot camp when we talk about our marketing section, when we talk about lead conversion, when we talk about closing files, this conversation keeps coming up and is daunting and overwhelming around online reviews. We all know that when we go to make a decision of do we want to even get on a discovery call with someone or initial consultation, do we even want to opt into somebody's free PDF download webinar, whatever it might be, we Google search them. We go out to the World Wide Web, and this is where the 93% of all consumers and buyers are hanging out. And what do we look at first? What's right there hanging out on the right-hand side of their page? What's hanging out on their website? Their testimonials or reviews, what have you. So I'm really excited to have our guest here, Stacey Lake from Lawfecta.com, and she's cracked the code in regards to Google or online reviews, because it's not just Google. And Stacey, I'm so excited you're here because I love your page that you have on there. I think what do you call it? Not the wall of love. What's it called with all your reviews?
Yes. First, thanks for having me, Molly. I'm excited to be here. And yes, the wall of love. So the
Yes.
wall of love is a never-ending wall of exactly that, love. So we have collected a lot of testimonials over the years. And so this wall of love is just a never-ending wall. You just keep scrolling and scrolling and reading all our reviews.
Oh my goodness. And it's so impressive. So tell our listeners, give us a little bit of backstory about your passion around creating this platform. And again, for all my quick starts, just go to lawfecta.com. You can go under services, go to review management. If you're listening while you're on your computer, you can follow along because Stacey has a great gift for us at the end of today's episode. Tell us why you started adding this service of review management to your business. I know you do virtual paralegals, virtual legal secretaries. I see you speaking everywhere. You're a big speaker at CleoCon last week. Tell us a little bit about your passion around this and your why.
Yeah, again, Molly, thanks for having me on. And so, a little bit about how this came to be. So, Lawfecta primarily is a virtual paralegal and legal secretary outsourcing agency. And we really needed something specific for what we were doing. And I looked at all the different review management platforms that are currently available. And there are some really great products, don't get me wrong, but they didn't meet my specific needs. I had a problem, therefore I needed to find a solution. And so I went searching and I found a product that already existed in Europe, which really excited me.
Mm.
And it had one functionality that I needed. So I reached out to this developer and we got to talking and we clicked really well and he was really receptive and he wanted to build this tool specific for our industry for the US. So we started working together. And realistically, with Lawfecta, we always say that we want to be partners in growing our clients' businesses. That's really important to us because if we can serve them well, their businesses will scale, they will grow. It's a mutually beneficial business relationship, and we really want to have our clients' businesses grow. So we really do look for solutions that aren't immediately available in our market. Now, again, there are some really great review management solutions out there, but our platform does a little differently, and it does it easier, in my opinion, from what I could find out there. So we really wanted to look for a solution that had a lot of to build a solution that could have a lot of automation built in because as business owners, And attorneys, we don't have a lot of time on our hands. So
No.
being able to create this product for even our own use at Lawfecta. And so we put it into work at Lawfecta, and we just started barreling in getting reviews. We started climbing the ranks. And when we started Lawfecta back in 2017, virtual paralegal agencies weren't really a thing.
No.
And so the education curve that we had to go through was huge, as well as getting the social proof that allowed potential clients online to know that we weren't just like this fly by the night of a company, right? So that was really important to create that social proof. When you create a business and you're so new to the game, or even if you're long standing, having that social proof online really gets you to the next level. And that's really what took Lawfecta from being an early stage startup to accelerating to where we are now, to be able to invest in these additional tools to create for our clients. And so for me, I get really geeked out on anything tech, and especially when we are literally solving problems that not only our business had, but that we are consistently seeing that our clients are having as well.
So tell us a little bit about, because I love it. You said attorneys are busy, even the platform and the technology to go on out there, they'll get overwhelmed, what have you. When do I send a review? When do I not send a review? Especially with attorneys, that they can overcomplicate the whole process. Tell us a little bit about what makes your process unique and what you're finding.
Yeah, definitely. So one example I like to kind of give everybody is I had an attorney who had a practice for several years, not in a smaller region, only had a few reviews online, mainly word of mouth, but really wanted to start scaling, really wanted to get out there. So they were one of our early beta testers. So we got together, we worked them with the system. Now, one thing our system does that makes it easy for attorneys to collect reviews, because our system does three things. It helps attorneys collect their reviews. It'll help them display their reviews for that social proof. And third, it's going to help them share the reviews.
Mm,
Now, to collect their reviews, our system allows them to put their review management on autopilot. So they can create a system, and we have templates built in to make it really easy. They can make basically a drip system that'll email clients to collect reviews, text message them to collect the reviews. And if the client does not take that next step to submit that feedback or that review, the system will keep that drip going depending on how you have that set up. So it's putting that review collection on autopilot. You tell our system, this is the person you would like that review from, and it'll automatically reach out. Now, once that person submits that review, it takes them out of that campaign. And you can collect video testimonials, you can collect reviews on Google and Yelp and Trustpilot. So it's not just in our platform, it's external out there. And that's a real benefit, especially for Google, because when we Google attorneys, and you could do it for any city, I just did it for mine. I did Victorville, California, 92392, and it pulls up in Google what's called the local pack. And those are going to be the businesses that rank high in Google or have a lot of Google reviews, or that Google has found to have a high, what's called domain authority. And those are customarily the businesses that are going to get clicked on first. Those are going to be the ones who get calls first on Google. And so it's really important to be collecting those reviews. There's one company, it's a digital marketing company called Moz, M-O-Z, and
mm.
they actually say that to rank in that local pack, it's 15% of your amount of reviews, and the quality of your reviews is going to put you in that local pack.
15%.
15%. And
Wow.
that's what's going to influence whether or not in your region, you're going to be one of the first four, the first three to show up on that Google map at the top. So it's really important to be collecting those reviews. And so I had this attorney who only had a few. He came to us. We set up a system on autopilot. But particularly one thing our system does is it can incentivize reviews. So you can say, have it built in to say, if you submit this review, you'll get X back. So this particular attorney, I believe he did a $25 Amazon gift card per platform that these reviews were left. And so it was on autopilot drip. And so this attorney went from, only having a few reviews and a few trickling in here and there to having just one person alone go through 10 different review websites and leave reviews because they wanted that incentive. And
Yeah.
it got a lot more clients, motivated to take that next step. Because realistically, if we look at reviews, most people are motivated to leave a review when they're angry. When you're angry, it's like, oh, I need to how can I, you know, put my piece out there? And
Yes.
people are more motivated when they're angry, but when they're happy, and I'm guilty of this, I'm like, I'm going to leave you a great review. And then I don't. And it's because it's just not in my face. If it was constantly in my face or on my calendar, I would leave those great reviews for those great services that I received. But it's just not on my mind. And unfortunately, it's hard for us with daily life to take that next step. But when you're getting those drip campaigns, you're getting them in your email, you're getting them in your text message, and it's saying, please leave me a review, and I'll also incentivize you, and you're happy with that service, so many more clients are going to take that next step because they're happy with what you've provided them, but you're also giving them a little something more for them taking that next step for you.
Mm. So I love that we're having this conversation because so many of our listeners are spending a tremendous amount of money on PPC, SEO, pay-per-click, what have you. And I don't feel that they give, I know they don't, because when I Google, I see that they have no energy or intentionality around that whole Google review process and, or any other platform, and talking about where the 93% are hanging out. I know we
Yeah.
were talking a little bit about some statistics that have heard and witnessed and been shared with you through some of the reports in your research. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So one research that I found really interesting, because I like to look into, right now we're still collecting more firm data when it comes to our clients. We don't like to release data or stats until like we actually have like a full year. But we've been reading a lot of outside research that's been done. And one that I found really interesting is 30,000 websites were surveyed. They went into review management. So 30,000 websites went into this program. And over the course of 9 months, their traffic on their website, just invested in review management, it increased 8,000. They had 8,000 organic traffic increase, between 5 to 8,000 every single one of those 30,000 websites. That's how much it increased. And that's because of the social proof out there. When we Google something, Google will give us hundreds of pages of results. And now it's our responsibility to filter through that. And I come from the legal industry. I know a lot of attorneys, I have a lot of contacts. And even when a few years back, I had a legal issue that I needed support, but it wasn't in the realm of an attorney that I knew. I primarily know like family law attorneys, business law attorneys. I needed a very specific niche attorney. So I Googled it, and here I was filtering through all these search results. So I just went and looked for whoever had the top 5 best reviews, who had the best reviews, who had the most reviews. And those were the ones that I called, because otherwise I'm sitting there looking at websites. They look great, but I don't know if you actually do what you say. But when I look at your reviews, people are raving about you. They're raving about you here. Then here's somebody who says like, yeah, they did a great job, so and so. We're getting a real representation of what your business is. And so I even have had that experience of trying to find an attorney and being put in this position of, well, I don't know who to choose. But other people have chosen these attorneys. I can take their feedback, I can take their experiences and make the best decision for me.
Wow. And as you were saying that, I could think, okay, great. I know how I buy. I know how I make my buying decision, or even that I want to get on anybody. I don't care if it's a plumber or if it's an attorney or what have you. You Google, you see on the right-hand side the reviews, you see the top 5 that come up. But then what's your next step? Right? You gravitate towards the top 2, 3, 5 there. click on their website. And what I love about the platform that you have, then you can click on testimonials, reviews, wall of love, whatever term you want, raving fans. And then I love how it scrolls in the way that it looks, and not scrolls, but you can see the way that it's all laid out with the stars right at the top. How many? You have 65, I think, on your 65, 5 or 4.9 or what have you. And then you see the actual verbiage and word from real live human beings, because sometimes people can be skeptical if they don't know a lot about the review system,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah. And one thing about our tool is it's designed to kind of be multi-channel. So we're collecting those reviews for you on Google. They're getting posted on Google. They're getting posted on Yelp. They're getting posted on Trustpilot and Facebook. And when they're navigating to Facebook or Yelp and then navigating to your website, like you said, those widgets, those will pop up on their website. So they're pulling in that experience from these different Facebook or Google platforms, those reviews, they're pulling them out into their website. And so people are seeing that multiple, and that also is creating this cohesiveness, this cohesive environment of this review system, that clients are constantly seeing these same reviews, knowing that this is social proof, and it's pushing them further towards your objective, which is to get that consultation, to get that lead in, to get that that email address, whatever that next goal is. Our system helps position this social proof to get that next step.
Mm. And I want to highlight something, because I always thought before I really started, listening to that, you could only get a Google review from a paid client, from somebody who was a client. But no, anybody who has an experience with you, they come to your workshop. If they, came in for even a consultation, I have many firms that'll have the QR codes that'll be right there. Anytime within your platform, you can send them a message anytime they walk through any part of your experience, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because even that consultation, getting that review online is just showing people what that even initial step is. So, since our system's automated, clients can actually set it up that, if a client comes in for that consultation, they leave that consultation, they can automatically filter in a campaign, and it'll shoot a text message or email to that person saying, just give us feedback, not even asking for the review online. Let us know how the feedback was. And, that'll give the attorney an idea of 1 to 5 stars. But they can trigger specifically this feedback system that, say if they got a 3, 4, 5 star, they want that review to go on Google, or they want it to go on Facebook or to Yelp, because that's important. 1 to 2 star reviews, that's important to know, what can I change internally in my business? So that feedback goes directly to you, those 1 and 2 stars. But you set it up for those 3, 4, 5 star feedback that says, yeah, they did a great job. That consult was great. I'm going to hire Mr. John Doe. And they click submit. That feedback now not only goes to you, but it triggers them to get a new page that says, hey, thank you for that review. Would you like this incentive? If you would like this incentive, this Amazon gift card or 10% off of, your retainer or whatever it's going to be, it'll have links there to go to your Facebook, to go to your Google, to go to your Trustpilot, to make it easy for your client to take that feedback they just put in that form to go to the next platform to leave them for you. So our system is made to be a cohesive ecosystem to not only give you good quality feedback, to make changes to your business as you need it, but also to get that good feedback and put it out there into the public, so that that's also really cheap marketing costs, having
Oh,
people
yes.
see that kind of stuff out there. It's so cheap. And so, the example I gave where that one client left 10 reviews on 10 different platforms, that attorney ended up, it was $25 per platform. So they paid $250 out, but that was still cheap
Oh my
marketing.
goodness.
It's cheap
Yes.
marketing. It's so cheap. And so, it sounds, and the thing is this all sounds so daunting, like review management, setting up automation, like drip campaigns, like what? Our system is so easy, so fluid. It takes them through, there's an onboarding checklist. It takes them through step by step, because we really want them to be able to use this platform make it easy, and to have them really have success through it.
Oh, so tell our listeners how they can learn more in the gift that you have for them today to see, touch, feel, and try.
Yes. So you can visit us at lawfecta.com and navigate to our review management services. That's where you're going to learn a little bit more how to collect high quality testimonials, which is really important to every business. You
Mm,
can sign up for a 14-day free trial, no credit card needed. And you can start playing with the system, and you can upload reviews, and you can use the whole system, basically see how you like it, and if it meets your needs, you can then go ahead and subscribe. I always say that one product isn't made for every single person. What works for me will not work for the next person. I always say to investigate other platforms as well, but I can definitely say you will be so impressed with the Lawfecta review management system. And it's not only easy and dynamic, it's going to help attorneys explode their businesses and get that social proof and get on that Google local path. So they're getting those clicks.
yes, and get in front of where that 93% are hanging out. And again, I
Yes.
just want to highlight attorneys. We keep saying attorneys and what have you. You do not need to do this. Delegate it to a team member. I have seen several law firms that this has been successfully delegated to. Very easy
Yes.
within your process, within your system, truly a click of a button.
Yes, 100%. And a lot of the attorneys that we work with, they have virtual assistants that fully manage the system for them. It's a set it and forget it. That's how they like to do it. And so, we do work with attorneys to do some white glove onboarding, working with them to get their systems. Because again, we
Oh,
do want them
great.
to have success, but 100% you can have a virtual assistant handle this, truly put it on autopilot to grow your business.
Awesome. Oh, Stacey, thank you for coming back. I think that's like the third time I've had you on my
Yes, thank you
podcast.
for
So,
having me.
yes.
I love
All
it.
right, listeners, get out there. You have no excuses. This is 2022 and you must be visible. You better believe your bottom dollar. Think about the past 5 purchases that you've made or buying decisions in the personal services industry. Like I said, whether it's a woodworker, a plumber, an attorney, or financial advisor, what have you. Even when you're at a dinner party, you're at a CleoCon and they're like, oh my God, you have to use this company or what have you. You're going to go and search them in your first place. Pay attention next time you do it. You're looking
Yes.
at the reviews and then you're going to the website and then you're looking at the reviews there again as well. You see the scroll in the left-hand corner. You're already in. You're already more than warm. You are pretty close to hot and making a decision that this is a place that you want to work with, unless you call and you get crappy client services. That's a whole nother episode. Oh, okay. Stacey, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me again, Molly. It's been a pleasure.
We've reached the end of another impactful conversation on the Hire and Empower podcast. Whether this was your first episode or you're a longtime listener, I know you can tell I have passion for people. Whether you're a business owner, employee, executive, or hiring manager, I understand the situation you're in. Hiring, onboarding, and leadership is expensive, exhausting, overwhelming, and if that's not enough, it's also time consuming. My friends, it doesn't have to be this way. There is a team at H&E that has your back. For over 25 years, they've transformed over 4,000 law firms into efficient, effective, profitable assets for their business and made it fun to come to work again. Check out our Smart Hire solution, our employee leadership program, and the 66-day law firm turnaround at hiringandempowering.com.